Top of the morning folks, today from the Reddit Rainforest. Redditors who found someone they knew on an NSFW website. What was your reaction? I used to be a waitress for a pretty well-known chain restaurant. I found a video of my manager having sex with a very large-breasted MILF. Come to find out he has a pretty big following in the porn industry. A friend of a friend posted to Gone Wild once. I recognized her tattoos and the room she was in. Since she did not show her face, I assume she did it for the thrill, but wanted to be anonymous, so I never brought it up. Good man. Not a website, but years ago I had problems with my cable, so I got an adult channel for free as compensation. So the first time I check it out, a parody movie was on and the girl I was dating at the time was in it. Non-sex speaking role. It was a skit in the middle of a scene. I sat on it for a few days, then after a few drinks I asked, do not take this the wrong way, but have you ever been in any porn movies? Then she started laughing, saying 5 years ago she was in one and even acted out the scene. It was a unique situation to say the least. Edit. I had billing and service issues, and I was offered a slight discount on my bill for the next few months or the adult package for free. The math added up, so it was the adult package. And the movie was from a big name studio and the girl was living in Hollywood at the time and needed the money. I'd name the movie, but it would not be too hard for anyone to find the scene, so yup. Least likely situation in the world. Saw my friend's parents on Seeking Arrangement once. For those unfamiliar, it's an app for sugar babies to find sugar daddies / mommies, and vice versa. It can also double as a kink dating app. Anyway, I saw their profile, clicked on it, and then remembered that you get a notification when someone visits your profile. I freaked out and blocked them, so they hopefully will not see my name. Lol. Not on a website, but a former colleague showed me pictures of her dog on her iPhone. While swiping through the pictures, she had forgotten that she also had some other pictures on it. After the last dog picture, there was a picture of her lady parts with a butterfly tattoo on her pubic mount. She swiped it away, looked at me coyly, laughed and just said, "Oh, that's a picture of my butterfly." She had already quite the job, and that was the last time I saw her. Pastor's kid from my high school got paid to do gay porn at some point while he was in college. Basically a jerk off video, since he was straight with some dude talking to him. Another kid found it and blasted it on Twitter. Everyone saw it, including everyone's pervy parents. Not a website, but the first time I ever went into a lap dancer's, there was a girl from my class topless dancing away. She saw me and turned her back on me, and I tried to avoid eye contact with her, but then my friend I was with called her over to us for a dance. I was mortified. She just ducking owned it though, and strutted over and winked at me with a massive smile and got on with her dance. She was great. Edit. I had remembered it slightly wrong. She did walk over to us and smiled at me, but it was only after she had danced, when she pulled her underwear to the side to show my friend her lady parts, that she looked at me and winked. I had well and truly been caught looking at my old friend's naughty bits. Worked on a job site next to a strip joint. Guys would go at lunch and come back raving over the hot dancer, but what a randit she was. After a couple times I joined them. Imagine their surprise when I walked through the door and the girl jumped off stage, ran down and wrapped her arms around my neck. It was an old friend from HS. Worked in a restaurant many years ago. Had a manager whose wife would come in every so often and get a camp meal. Was a giant andage. We did not exactly jump for joy when she rolled up. One night, we're closing up. One of the bartenders pulls me over saying, "Check this out. It's our manager's wife. Nude. Touching her naughty bits." Apparently, she had been a playmate and done some other softcore videos. Made sense in hindsight. She was the basic platinum blonde, blue-eyed, massive silicone breasts type. As fate would have it, she came in later that week. It was very evident which guys knew, based on the looks on their faces. Almost. My husband found my doppelganger on a porn site. Her name was one letter off of mine. He told me about it and said, "You'll be much smarter than to use such a close name." Also, the doppelganger has totally different tattoos. Thanks for crediting my intelligence though. Kinda surprised. She did not strike me as the type. Way too private. Turned out she had a thing for exhibitionism. Still posts here and there and is living her best life. A good friend of mine was into softcore exhibitionism. She got off on wearing skirts and dresses without panties and, admittedly, it made being a close friend extremely difficult because teenage me wanted to rail her like a monster. Nothing is more distracting than knowing that your friend, girlfriend, wife, etc. ISN not wearing anything under a skirt or dress. Ugh. I was showing my friend at work this site called Reddit that I was enjoying. We decided to search the name of the city and state we work in to see what came up. We came across this post on a sub called r/random acts off blowjob for our city. The guy looking for a blowjob sounded a lot like the guy I had been dating for the past year. The great guy I had been gushing to my friends about for a year. So we messaged him with her photo. It was him. He was very excited to make plans to meet. It broke my heart. Saw a girl that looked like my friend's ex on a campsite. My curiosity got the better than me. It was definitely her. Next time I saw my mate, he got drunk and told me all about his ex that's on a campsite. I sent it to them to make sure they were okay with being there, since it was a sharing account that posted it, and then thought how and moved on. Probably did keep a sharper eye out for familiar faces for a while after that though. Found my gay uncle on one. He has a partner and they were looking for threesomes. They know him gay too. My uncle sent me a message asking me how I was and how he thought I was hot. He was wanting to duck me with his boyfriend. I was 18 at the time and I quickly blocked him. I will not dare tell anyone in my family what happened. Gross. I have seen him twice since, and each time he looks at me, you can see the shame and embarrassment in his face. I like to pretend like it never happened. I need eye bleach. A girl I went to high school with is in over half of the ads I see when browsing Pornhub. She was really nice in high school and she actually seems to be doing really well and enjoying what she does. The only thing that sucks is her videos look like they'd be something I'm into, but I for some reason feel like I'm creepy if I watch them. A coworker's boyfriend found another coworker's camming profile. My god. I knew her boobs were big, but the boob to nipple ratio was like 100:1, like mosquito bites on hot air balloons. Some dude dating a girl in my hello squadron posted nudes of her, and I felt compelled to tell her immediately. She was more than a little upset, to say the least. Found a pic on Reddit that I'm fairly certain is my ex-fiancée. Wondered if she knew someone put her photo out there. Accidentally stumbled across an acquaintance's Reddit profile, and she had posted a couple of nudes in one of the Gone Wild subs. I was not surprised at all, because she's always posting on social media that she's broke, and she'll send nudes for money. No big deal to me. I do not think any differently of her. I saw an ex-girlfriend's mom once. Not enough eye bleach in the world for that one. Opposite side of the question here. A few years ago a guy I know from high school messaged me on Facebook letting me know he found a naked picture of me. Then this past year a different picture got leaked to my apprenticeship program. Read. About 125 guys that I work with or around potentially saw this picture because it had been stolen and posted in a Snapchat group. Oh well, shrug. Oh sweet Jesus, I did not need to know that. Excuse me while I go pull my brain out and run it through the microwave. She worked for me, was an unassuming little old lady in her 60s. Did some videos with her actual daughter when she was in her 40s. Who at one point was also on my team. I just cold not even look at either one of them. Thank gods I only found out after the old lady quit, because I for sure would have gotten myself dragged to HR at some point. She was a student who became an adjunct professor at my university, and we had a lot of mutual friends. Pretty attractive too. Unfortunately this was more likely the result of revenge porn, because some images from her social media were included as well. My initial reaction was to alert her about it, but 1. We were not close, and 2. If she already knew about it, the reminder would not help her put the past behind. A lot of guys could only dream about stumbling upon stuff like this. But it's been years since I ran across her images, and I still feel conflicted about not knowing what the proper thing to do was. Was looking for some good porn in the BBC gangbang category and found my cousin getting banged. Bad enough I have a huge scar from her pushing me down the stairs, but now I have a mental one. Not me, but a co-worker supposedly found another co-worker on some porn sign and confronted her about it. According to him, he said I have seen you online, and she denied it. He never found it to show me, so he could be lying. I was in an online mothers group, and we had one particular woman who was a complete anditch to everyone. She would spout off about how advanced her kids were. She was a breastfeeding Nazi. Comment on people's posts about how they should not be feeding their kids such and such, etc. And she used to quote Bible verses at times. I accidentally found her on FetLife, and she had quite the fetish for bondage. So I'd start making little comments to her when she got nasty. Gosh, do not get yourself so tied up in the drama. I bet your stomach was completely knotted when you saw that. The way you go on about breastfeeding. I'd almost think you had a fetish for it. etc etc. After a week of not seeing her post or comment, I realized she had blocked me and she had left the group. It was a nice group after that. And I never told anyone that it found her on the site or outed her to the group. I'm not a monster. Had a childhood friend that was in porn. Friends dragged me to a porn expo and she was there. Classic face-to-face moment that included hugs and being really excited to see each other. We hooked up a few times, but I did not want to be in a relationship with someone that had sex for money. She stopped talking to me when I got engaged to be married. Apparently she was wanting to save me as her go-to for marriage after she was done with the industry and was really pissed off. I found my buddy's ex. I told him, and it got back to her, that I told him. She was actually really cool after scolding me for telling people, and now she sends me nudes all the time. A buddy informed of 2 girls we knew from high school on a British-based suicide girl type site. I checked out the photos, was not surprised at how beautiful they were, which is possibly why my buddy mentioned it originally, in that one of the girls was considered an ugly duckling by most of my friend group but not me, and went on with my life. They were just artsy nudes, so no big deal. Mentioned it in other AskReddit threads, but a co-worker of mine posted some nudes on Reddit. Some of them included her face, which is how I realized who it was. I have never said a word because I figure it would make it awkward to tell her I know what her butthole looks like, so I keep the secret between myself and an external hard drive. Just to answer the questions I have gotten before, she deleted her account a while back and not going to re-upload them. That would risk her running across them and me having to answer questions for HR. Going back a good 15 years here, but a friend's sister was a Baba Station girl for a while. Baba Station was / is a late night satellite channel in the UK where topless ladies would wiggle around on screen with a phone in hand, muted, that if you called a premium rate number you could talk / listen in. It was basically the channel that would be thrown on as background after a night out, which was how we discovered her profession. If I remember back to being 18, I believe the first time we saw her, we taped our boy to a chair in front of the TV as his sister jiggled away on it. Seems a bit harsh in hindsight. I have a great story for this that would take too long to type out fully, but the short version is way back in the days when we used to have to rent videotapes. I picked up one of those amateur first timers type compilation ones. I really liked it, so I made a dub to keep. Many years later I found that tape, and while taking a look at it again I realized to my utter astonishment that one of the girls in it was someone I had dated previously. So in other words, she made the video years before we met. I first saw it before we met, then saw it again years later, after we broke up. During the time I knew her I had no recollection of her being one of the girls on that tape I had stored away in a box somewhere. Think of it ... That poor girl was in the same house as a copy of the video she had made years earlier and perhaps forgotten about and maybe even regretted doing, and neither of us had any idea of any of it. To top it off, she was not even one of the girls in the video I had initially enjoyed, but I really liked her in person while we were dating. She was a wonderful girl. I have no idea where she is today. While browsing a porn site once, I was shocked to discover that a girl I went to college with was in 2 of the videos. Eventually I was able to watch them for myself, and it was super awkward seeing them. The first video was just her being interviewed as she took her clothes off and lightly played with herself. Never came close to orgasm though. The second video showed her exercising and showering / playing with herself in the shower. But while she played with herself, she had a look of regret on her face. Again, she did not even come close to orgasm. I think she realized as she was being filmed what she was doing. You could tell both videos were shot at the same time. And since those are the only 2 videos of her, I'm certain she wished she could go back and undo them. It was a video of me getting blown by an ex. It has almost 1 million views. Luckily face was not in the video. Apparently she cheated on her boyfriend after me, and he found out and posted the video online. An ex-girlfriend of mine is one of them OnlyFans ... workers? I do not even know what the term is. As well as 3 girls from my year at school, one of whom also was on those late night porn channels. I do not know what they put in the water here, but it seemed to breed a lot of porn stars. My reaction was not too surprised. Unfortunately that is all there is for this video, but do not worry, there are many more coming. Like and subscribe for more videos from the Reddit Rainforest. Thanks for watching.